this scene here, we'll be using this area here for a lot of green screen shots. Big green screen to be thrown on top of it. Big green screen plastered on the side of that wall, of that building structure. And that's where I'll do a lot of green screens that'll intertwine with the actual set, miniature sets that'll be used for background plates, foreground plates, and etc. They'll be so interlocked with one another, you won't, well, it won't make any difference if you know, but they'll give the film a visual sense that, oh, you're on a cowboy set and it looks interesting. It may look fake, but it looks interesting. I'm sitting there typing Rattlesnake Creek, scene 42, continue from the scene that's continuous. Character Bob. You ain't no lawman. You sidewind to rattle you. Yeah, that's the how I gotta portray old Bob Quickfast. Here's a cut of his character. You ain't no lawman. You sidewind to rattle you. Oh, yeah. You gotta get in character long before you actually start shooting the picture. It takes a little bit more of a filmmaking creativity to carry out 4 or 5 different characters in one movie. Plus, you're gonna put action figures to portray other characters, supporting roles, and it starts to blend together long before, in a one-man production, of course, long before you start to film. Like any professional filmmaking, even the true professional actors, they have to prepare for the role. I'm sure they don't wait till one day and just try to get in there and do it. I don't know, maybe they do. But this is what we got, you know. Yeah, Rattlesnake Creek, and Moses' response is, then why aren't you here? Why aren't you here, Bob? Well, he's questioning Bob's reasoning. Then why are you here, Bob? You have misguided your life. You've always have. And now it don't matter up to much. Does it? And he's questioning with that, does it? And he's talking to the Rattler. Or I should say the Rattle. Yeah, they call him the Rattler. Or the Rattle, I don't know. Anyway, but his name is Moses Pennyway, known as Rattle, the Rattle of Law. Here we go. We're going to type the rest of it in. Then, T-H-E-N. Oh shit, that's the wrong part of there. I don't go there. Alright. T-H-E-N, then Y. And Y-R. Why are you here? I like the character, Bob. Bob's going to be an interesting character. Very interesting. As we write the script here, this is how it's looking on the computer. And we eventually will type it up, you know, completely. I do a page at a time, you know. I do a page at a time. 2 pages, 3 pages, whatever I feel like it, when I feel creative. Then push the button. Zip, goes out. There's a script right there. The script is, here's the script right here. Rattlesnake Creek is not completely done, but we're on our way. As soon as I get it done, I will be shooting this movie. By the time you're looking at this, the movie's been completed. Make no mistake about it. Okay. Once we decided to go back down into the basement, I took note that the basement itself was completely dark on our first approach. As you'll be able to see, I turned the camera for a brief second to notice that it's completely dark down there. I noticed that, so I decided to turn the camera back that way again. It's light. I didn't quite catch that, so I decided to turn the camera back again to see what I thought I saw. and the basement was completely lit down there. There's nobody down there. Her suspicions is that the darkness itself is evil and that it moves within the house itself. Okay, what we have here is a scene back the backyard studios where the production, we'll get back up a bit. This is the backyard studio where Rattlesnake Creek will be filmed. Building right here, it's going to be basically art direction wise, dressed up to be a cowboy shot, cowboy building. As we get a shot of this, everything you see back here, these buildings, that building there, with a little art direction, that's going to be a cowboy shot. Cowboy building, I should say. That building there, or that housing part there, is going to be a structure for a cowboy scene. And so with this right here. Art direction would transform all of this into the Rattlesnake Creek location. This is the Rattlesnake Creek location where the bulk of the outside of the movie will be shot. There'll be a cowboy building here, and a cowboy building right behind the camera. All of that will be Rattlesnake Creek. Okay, right here, we move the camera right here. What you got here is what I call my backyard lot studio. On the other side of this fence over here, on the other side of this fence, is my back lot studio. Where a lot of the other films that I've already shot have taken place. Ace, Thunder Ace, The Tomb, and soon to be, once I get around to it, probably start scripting next year, the movie Tomb 2, The Caves of the Vampires. His crown called the Deus Ex Machina. It is the difference between us and them. Take two. And that was a very interesting answer. Take two. And that was a very interesting answer. Here in the rural areas of Wichita, Kansas, lies these strange monuments and strange structures. Something of great importance has happened here in the mid-80s. A UFO had crashed here into this mountain right behind me called a Vody. And in the midst of this mountain, there is a hollow cavity. And in this cavity, there are structures. Some say they're anatomical in nature. Fascinating. Researchers have noted in their findings that there are questionable DNA and RNA residue. Here in the rural areas of Wichita, Kansas, lies these strange monuments and strange structures. Something of great importance has happened here in the mid-80s. A UFO had crashed here into this mountain right behind me called a void. And action. My God. Well, here's some of the early stages of Great Shark. Put it together. Me, myself, and I. Glue, paper, whatever we got to have there. Got the head up there. See how pretty much how big it is. And there's some cabinet. Here's the room. So we basically show some of and here's the size of my hand, so we know how big it is. And it's a great old big beast. Format. The character Brian Moon is having a conversation with a gun. The gun, obviously, that he used to fight the shark with. Of course, the gun is going, cheep, making lots of noise, clicking sounds, and drawbacks. These things are going inside the head of Brian. Brian's delusions are coming and going very quickly at this point. Now, in the original script that I wrote, the ending was supposed to have been that he runs into the bathroom, the clicking sound increases, he looks into the bathtub, and he sees the great light. We get a quick pan into his face. He's grabbed by the great light, pulled into the tub, which now becomes a gigantic sea. It's no longer a bathtub. It's a sea. And he's struggling with the great light in the water and under the sea of the water. The fight ensues so bad, blood is seen throughout the whole underwater shot. And the clicking sound of the gun continues, and then you hear something of a shot. Pow! Brains, blood all over the wall. Brian falls into the tub. Obviously, he was in a delusional state. There was no great white. There was no shark. Well, what we have here is the warrior's helmet for the actual film. Now, the one on your left, this one right here, is the one we bought, the one I bought, the collectible item. The one here on the right is a replica of this one. This one can be worn on the head, this one cannot. So that just to let you know that when you see the film, there'll be one that I'll be wearing and there'll be one that I'll be holding.